Well, welcome everybody to Finish Big. First, I would like to congratulate all of you for making the decision to take an hour or so of your day or night to be here. The fact that you're here means that you saw an opportunity to prioritize your time. My job today is to make sure that you made the right decision. I say day or night because we are thrilled to have salon owners from all over the world, including America, the UK, Fiji, and even Nigeria. So, a very warm welcome to our friends abroad. Throughout this presentation, I want you to pay particular attention to any words that I have in pink. These are important words that will make sense at the end of the presentation, and I will let you know why they are so important. First of all, let me tell you a little bit about me for those of you who haven't met me. I've got a Bachelor of Business majoring in marketing, and I started off my career in the advertising industry. Moving up my way to being an account director, which pretty much is a business strategist, or better put, a business builder. After a significant midlife crisis, I decided I wanted to coach the beauty industry. However, I've always been a firm believer that it's a bit rude to coach someone in an industry you haven't been successful in it yourself. So I opened my first salon in 1996. I wanted to develop a system, the prototype from which I would coach salon owners. It was to be a success system. 3 years ago, I sold my last salon for a pretty healthy price. You see, that was the point of my coaching, to coach salon owners to build great businesses where that last paycheck was a sizable one. I'm not a beauty therapist, nor have I ever wanted to be one. I am a businesswoman passionate about the beauty industry who knows that it also happens to be one of the most profitable industries in the world. My job was to learn to coach business owners embrace the businesswoman in themselves if they are ever to fulfill the dream they had when they opened or first bought their salon. And you learning to be a businesswoman is important. So, are you ready? Well, I hope you're ready for an intense workshop with practical business strategies to get you to the finish line, to the close of 2013 in a big way. Please make sure that you have a notepad and pen. I have a favor to ask you. I need your focus and attention throughout the entire webinar. And to enable you to do this, please do yourself a favor and turn off your phones, email program, and make sure that all possible interruptions around you are removed. I know how easy it is to be distracted. Don't let this happen. Not today. For the next 60 minutes or so, I need you to commit to being focused. And I promise that if you do, the commitment will be worth your while. Now, before we get started, I want to just give you a little indication of how it is that you can communicate with me today. I am not going to be able to read questions that people type because I can't do the webinar, read questions, and answer them. The only thing that I can do is when I actually ask you if you have any questions, you're going to see that you have a little hand icon that you can see on the panel, I think on the right side of your screen. When I ask, does anybody have any question, all you have to do is click that icon and you'll be putting your hand up. When I call your name, I'll unmute you and we'll have a little bit of conversation. Okay, so let's get started. 5 strategies to finish big and break the tape. What do I mean by breaking the tape? I'd like you to just bear with me for a little while before I answer that. Strategy number 1, get your head right. Where your mindset and the mindset of your team is right now and where it needs to be is vitally important. A conscious effort in order to understand what is required by all needs to be put into place and follow through to make sure that what is required in the coming month happens. Too often, salon owners set themselves up by putting in place what they consider success tools, such as preparing newsletters, investing in product packs, decorating the salon with the Christmas spirit, but failed to take it all the way through to the end. So much time and money is spent on designing and printing the newsletter, distributing the newsletter, purchasing product packs, decorating the salon, etc., etc. But often it stops there, unwantingly not finishing what you actually started to do. Think about this. We all start things. We start dieting, we start exercising, we start giving up smoking. It's not those that start, and it's not about what you start. Victory and success is all decided at the finish line. What you do at the end is actually what counts. You're at the last leg of the most important race. Well, here we are, 4 weeks to the day until Christmas. You have 4 weeks to make all of the time, effort, energy, sacrifice, heartache, stress, and commitment count. It will be this last leg that will determine whether your entire year ends in victory or has you hobbling over the finish line. It's your decision. Will you take action the minute you finish this webinar, or will you lose another week and then another week after that? I am here to help make sure that you make the right decision and that you take action. What do we need to produce in December? Here's a fact. The National Retail Federation, which is a worldwide voice in the retail industry, say that 20 to 40% of annual sales is produced in the holiday season. And they consider the holiday season the months of November and December. So let's recap that. 20 to 40% of the whole year's income is in fact made between November and December. That is a huge chunk. Let's be conservative and work on a case study and say that 25% of our annual income is produced in November and December. And let's say that from January to October, with 4 full-time therapists and 1 receptionist, the salon produced $380,000. So I'm going to say it again. Let's pretend that from January to October, the end of October, we had 4 full-time therapists and 1 receptionist, and the salon produced $380,000. What do we need to produce in this holiday period, in the November to December period? For $380,000 to be 75% of your annual income produced, from January to October, your annual income would have to be $506,667, leaving $126,667 to be produced in the months of November and December, which is 25% of the total annual income. So let me say it again. For 25% of our total income to be made in the last 2 months of the year, and if we made $380,000 from January to October, we would need to make $126,667 in November and December. Now, November is almost over. So let's say that by this coming Saturday, the end of November, our November figures closed at $40,000. That means that to produce a total of $126,000, as we said before up here, during the last 2 months, in December, we would have to be producing $86,667 to fit within the 25% statistic. So in other words, let's say it again. We produced $380,000 between January and October. Total income, that's 80%, or sorry, that's 75% of our total income. If that's 75%, then the other 25% has to be 126,667 to be produced in November and December. But we've already had November, and let's say we did $40,000 in November. So we're going to have a target of 86,667 in December. Now, does everybody understand that? Is there anybody here on the webinar who doesn't actually understand the concept that I've just displayed right now? If you don't understand, please put your hand up and I will be more than happy to explain to you. There's quite a lot of people here. Today we were fully booked out, so I will try and get to as many people as I can. Okay, Violetta, you've got your hand up. Did you not understand what I said? Violetta?
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
You've got
I
your
was too
hand up.
busy taking notes.
Yeah, I know. Look, the icon looks like it's opposite than what it is. So if you can click it now, and you will actually put your hand down. And then
Okay, is the other hand down?
Yeah.
No.
So click it.
Okay.
No, you haven't clicked it. Click it now.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Now.
Okay, so now
Okay.
that's you with your hand down. So everybody have a look at your icon. That is you with your hand down, okay? All right, well, it seems like everybody understands, so I'm actually going to go on. Can you do it? Can 25% of your total income be produced in November and December? Napoleon Hill, who wrote one of the most well-known books in history, Think and Grow Rich, has an equally famous quote to his book. He said that what the mind can conceive and and believe, it can achieve. Now here is a picture of the back of my bathtub. It's the back edge of my bathtub. Yep, I actually took a photo of my very own bathtub, and I have 3 signs that are in my face every time I walk into my bathroom. The day I shifted my head to think and act like this is the day I took myself from the deepest of financial holes to where I am today. Let's look at the first sign. Whatever the mind can conceive, it can achieve. That's Napoleon Hill's line. Thoughts become things. So what you think actually happens. That works equally if you think negatively. So if you think a negative thought, something negative is going to happen. Any idea, plan, or purpose may be planted in the subconscious mind by repetition of thought, empowered by faith and expectancy. And again, that is all saying the same thing as the other 2 signs. What you think is actually what happens. So if I give you a really silly little example, is that when I used to take my son to school every day, I had to leave so early to be able to get a park that wasn't miles away from the school. And then one day I just made a decision. One day I made the decision that as I approach the school, I'm just going to put my indicator on. And if there wasn't an empty spot there, as soon as I got to where I wanted to park, somebody would pull out. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. And that is me planting an idea in my subconscious mind, my conscious and subconscious mind, through repetition and thought. And I empowered it with faith and expectancy. Turning the indicator on was my expectancy. You see, I actually expect certain things to happen. I expected this webinar to be sold out. And as you probably know, we did sell out in a couple of days. And the next thing I knew, I put on another webinar, which ended up being this morning. And I also thought that if I'm going to put a second webinar, then I expect that to be sold out. And you know what? 98 people booked that second one. Now I have to tell you that 100 is the limit. This is how I operate, but more about that later on. Okay, it all comes down to the one word, and the one word is mindset. Now, I want you to put aside what happened in the first 11 months of the year. Focus on just one thing. Focus on what you need to do from this point forward to finish the year big. What you need to do is focus and commit and fixate on breaking the tape. Breaking the tape at the end of the race, because this is what the month ahead of you is going to be. The end of the 2013 race. Fixate on breaking that tape. You will make it. I will help you with the strategies, but you must know that you will make it. Okay, let's talk about strategy 2, setting targets. Setting a target for the salon is vital. Targets keep the team focused and on track. It provides them with a specific goal that needs to be reached, not only over the whole period, but broken down on a weekly basis and then broken down on a daily basis. We're going to go through an example using our case study where we were required to produce $87,667 in December. Once you have a total target, you need to break it down into reasonable expectations of each of the individual team member. So there's no point in just saying we're going to do $87,500 in December. We need to break that down and allocate that to the people that actually work for us. And then to give the individuals a guide, you have to break it down into reasonable treatment expectations, regular retail expectations, the sale of Christmas product packs from suppliers and gift vouchers, which include the Christmas treatment packages you may have put together. So what I'm saying is you have a target of $87,667. You break that target and allocate it into the individual people that work for you. And even then, you must break that down further into what you expect them to do in regular treatments, in regular retail, in product packs, and in gift vouchers. Breaking it down makes everything so much easier to actually conceive. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think that it would be reasonable to expect therapists to produce $600 a day in treatments? In this coming busy time, December, is it reasonable that your therapist produce $600 a day in treatments? Here's what a $690 a day might look like. As you can see, there's quite a bit of downtime there. In fact, there's 2.25 hours worth of downtime. Here is what an $835 day might look like. There is still a little bit of downtime. I can see there's half an hour, 45. There's an hour of downtime there. Now, I don't want you to expect $835 a day. I don't even want you to think $690 a day. I just want to ask you the question that based on the 2 appointment books that I've just showed you, would it be reasonable to expect somebody or a beauty therapist to produce $600 a day? Well, $600 a day is reasonable, which means that over 20 days, each treatment could easily be each team member could easily be making $12,000, totaling $48,000 for the month. Now, between now and Christmas, there are 24 working days. your girls will each be working 20 days, which is 4 weeks. So I have allocated $600 a day, and if they actually achieve that, they'll achieve $12,000 for the period, and everybody will achieve $48,000 for the period. How about regular retail products? You know, the serums, the cleansers, the SPFs, moisturizers, etc., that they would be selling during their treatments. Would it be reasonable to expect your therapist to average $200 a day on regular retail products? Well, sure it would. For the therapist, that's only 2 to 3 products a day. With some ranges, even less. So for the expensive ranges, it's even less than 2, 3 products a day. Very reasonable. As the receptionist doesn't have too much direct contact with treatment clients, $50 a day on regular retail products is reasonable for her to produce. That would be a total of $17,000 for the entire period. Okay, well, how about treatment product packs? Most of your suppliers would be providing great Christmas packs. Would it be too much to ask therapists to sell $200 a day worth of packs? This would be no more than 1 to 2 packs a day. Now remember, it's Christmas. It's the busiest time of year. Some days they might sell 1 pack and other days they might sell 5 packs. If each therapist sold 1 to 2 retail packs a day and the receptionist sold 1 a day, that's $18,000 in retail packs. No brainer. And how about gift vouchers? If there ever is a time that you should be selling lots and lots of gift vouchers, it is during the month of December. Now, I know I have heard a lot of people say, we're not really great on gift vouchers. You must make yourself great with gift vouchers because your industry is one of the most popular industries to give a gift voucher for. Take advantage of that. Something as simple as, I remember driving in South Melbourne last week, and something as simple as online gift vouchers available here and online. Sorry, it said gift vouchers available here and online. You need to promote your gift vouchers in any way you possibly can. Okay, now, let's say we had the following treatment packages on offer. One of them is a $159 treatment package, and we had a $99 treatment package, and we also had a $59 treatment package. Do you think it would be reasonable that your therapist sell 3 of the 159 packages in the whole period? That's less than 1 a week. 4 of the 99 packages, that's just 1 a week. And 4 of the 59 packages, which is also just 1 a week. And then we expected the receptionist, who is at the front line of the salon, to sell $250 a day in gift vouchers, be it packages or dollar value vouchers. Would this be reasonable? Well, that works out that each beauty therapist would average out at just selling $55 a day in gift vouchers, and the receptionist $250 a day, totaling $9,400 in gift vouchers. Now, I know a lot of salons were doing way over that and are not big salons. They're just salons with 3 or 4 girls. $9,400 in treatment vouchers is not over the top. So now I'm going to ask you, how does this all sound? Does it sound reasonable when it's all broken down? Now, I want you to have a really good look at this table. I would like some feedback on how reasonable you think this is. Have a look and tell me, do you agree that all the things that I've broken down here are reasonable? So was it reasonable at the busiest month of the year for a therapist to do $600 a day in treatment? $200 a day in regular products. That's 1 or 2 products a day, 3 products at most. She'd sell 1 or 2 packs a day and average $55 in gift voucher sales, which incorporates selling the treatment packages that you put together. Please, I want somebody here to actually put their hand up and share with me whether you think this is reasonable or not reasonable? And I'm okay if you say that it's not reasonable. I would just like to know how you feel about it. Okay. Let me ask Gay. Hi, Gay.
Hi.
How are you, Gay?
I'm good, thank you. I think
That's
that's very reasonable, Bridget.
You think it's very reasonable. That's
Yes, I
really
do.
that's really good. Do you see that when you break it all down, it's not such a big ask?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for that. I'll mute you now, Gay. Is there anybody else who can share with me how they feel about this? Okay. I've got Kim. Hi, Kim. Kim Salming.
Hi, how you
Hi.
going?
Good. What do you think?
I'm not really sure. I'd like to think it was achievable for me, but I'm in the country and I have a really small salon. I only have two therapists working, so I guess our client base is a lot smaller. But I'm certainly going to present it to them and see how we go.
Okay, well, that's a really great attitude. I was just flicking through to see if this client in particular, and I know that she wouldn't mind me saying if she was going to share something with you. I have a client in Ararat. Okay, now Ararat in Victoria has a total population of 9,000 people. And
They're
last,
actually 20 minutes from us.
oh, they're 20 minutes from you. Okay, well,
Yeah.
she has last year shown a growth of 52%. Everything that I have asked of her, she has actually achieved way more, right? All of this is achievable. Whether each therapist is up to the job is a totally different question. But what we've got to agree is that everything is reasonable. And if it's reasonable, then it's achievable. And as you said for yourself, you think that it's achievable for you. And when you break it down, and if you look back on, later on you'll get a chance to look back at the slides and see the breakdown of the treatments that we book. We don't have to be back to back. We don't have to do the right sell to every single client. What we have to do is our duty of care. And in the busiest time of the year, it actually really is truly achievable. Okay, let me see if there's anybody else that wants to share their views with me. Okay, Catherine Simpson. Hi, Catherine. Now you're on the other side of the webinar, hey?
That seems a bit strange.
What do you think?
Sorry?
What do you think?
Bridget, I think it's more than achievable. And I guess one of the reasons I think that is because we're asking sort of most therapists to achieve between $100 and $120 an hour. And when we look at this, we're only asking them to achieve 140 in the busiest period of the entire year.
Absolutely.
Where clients are actually willing to part with their money, no questions asked. And I think you've been really lenient with the treatments per day. I think that the biggest thing that this has kind of shown us is that you have to actually put things down and physically put things in place if you want it to happen.
Yep, you're absolutely right. You have to put it down on paper. You actually have to draw this little grid up yourself and say, what do I think is reasonable? And you might even want to go to your therapists and ask them to see what they think. Because when you break it down and say 600 a day and show them what a 690 day looks like or an $835 day looks like, they will agree, don't you think? And
without a doubt.
Yeah, and then you break it down exactly the way I have here. You break it down into, one or two retail products a day, one or two packs a day. You should be selling way over that in packs. And only in treatment, we all go to the trouble of putting together all these great treatment packages. And I'm asking you, or asking everybody here, to just sell $55 a day. The receptionist sells more, but the therapist just $55 a day. I want it to be purposefully, in my opinion, this is very, very conservative. But I know, Catherine, I know it's different for you because you've got much bigger salons, but I know that for everybody else, when I first said 86,000 to be done in 1 month, it probably shocked everybody. And yeah, it is a big shock. It sounds like a lot of money. For goodness sake, you could buy, a car with that, or you could put a deposit on an apartment. It's a lot of money, but it can be achieved.
Absolutely, and I think I think you've the amount that you put down is actually slightly more than what you wanted to achieve. So I think it's more than right. I think it's more than achievable. So,
yeah, we'll see that
especially when you said
more.
Yeah, especially when you said in black and white.
Yeah,
I think it's great.
I think it's important, as we've always talked about, in black and white, it paints a picture. And a picture
Absolutely.
everybody that I'd like everybody to share with their team so that they can see that what you're asking for is reasonable. If you go to your team and say, look, I want to make $86,000 or $90,000 or $100,000 in a month, they'll probably go crazy. But when you break it down this way, they're actually going to have a good conversation with you.
And it gives them a goal as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thanks, Catherine. Thanks for your feedback. Okay, let's see if there's anybody else who wants to share their views. Okay, let's talk to Tracy Keith. Hi, Tracy from Tasmania.
No, from New Zealand.
Oh, from New Zealand. Sorry, what am I saying from Tasmania?
New Zealand. No, I think that's really, really great, and I think by breaking everything down, it does make it seem a lot more achievable, and I think your staff are going to be a lot more helpful in getting you there, and going to see how easy it is to reach a higher target for their wages as well for all their hard work.
Look, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for saying that, because it really makes a big difference, because if you can see it, they can see it. And that's what the most important thing. No longer,
and even,
sorry, go on.
Even for me, I don't have a receptionist, but I'll be hiring a receptionist for Christmas week.
Very important.
That's made it worth my while, because I didn't really think about the gift voucher side of things, which I should have, but it just, my head's too busy. So, yeah.
Look, absolutely. Apart from the fact that it's going to help your January, because a lot of people who receive gift vouchers in December have time off in January. And so people will be claiming their vouchers in January. Like I said before, you're in the industry for gift vouchers. So you need to push gift voucher sales as much as possible. And of course, somebody's going to be at the front to actually sell them for you. Okay? I hope Catherine doesn't mind me saying, but last year I was there as a checkout chick in one of the groom stores selling gift vouchers, and I just couldn't believe what was going on there. Now, granted, it was Southland; it's a very big, very busy shopping mall, but I just couldn't believe how it was living proof that people love this industry for gift vouchers, and so we need to capitalize on them.
I've just printed up a lot of different ones to make it easier for the girls, and our packages I've actually just gotten them back from the printers today, ready for our Christmas party tomorrow. So
good luck. I wish you well with that.
And from.
And I hope that over the next strategies that we talk today, we'll help you a little bit with tomorrow night then, if you're having a VIP night tomorrow.
That's the plan.
Excellent. Well, thanks for that, Tracy. I'm just going to give you now. And look, what I wanted to say is that $86,500 to me is monopoly money. It doesn't sound real, but when you actually break it down this way, it makes it more real. Okay, so I'm going to continue on so that we keep down with time. Now, as Catherine noted, and how typical Catherine's there with her calculator figuring it all out, it actually totals to, everything that I wrote up there actually totals to $92,400. Almost $6,000 over the original target of $86,667. It's not at all hard. It just requires awareness, and it requires tracking. And this is something that we will be discussing a little bit later on. Okay, strategy number 3, pre-selling with strategy. Those of you who know me have heard me say that you can sell anything to anyone as long as it's personal and relevant. What I mean by this is that as long as you're addressing the client personally, i.e. the words you use are clearly addressed to just her needs, and then you're relevant, i.e. relevant to her at the time that you are speaking to her, then it is very safe to sell her any product or service or treatment package without the fear of pushing. Personal and relevant is strategic. It's well thought out, it's considered, and it's recommended. There's no mistaking it for pushing. For every word you speak, the client will see that it is associated to her and not just a spiel you use on everybody that you come across. No matter what you say, she feels looked after and she feels cared for. Success is pre-selling combined with strategy. Let me give you some strategies with examples. Here's where your point of system becomes really handy. Prepare and print relevant reports. Now, I know that Shortcuts has amazing reports, but I'm sure that a lot of other point of sale system will too. If you don't know how to do them, just ring up your point of sale company and ask them for assistance. So let's have some example of reports. Print a report on anyone who has previously purchased a product that is contained in one of your Christmas packs. So if you've got a Christmas pack with an eye cream and it's the ABC eye cream, print up a report that shows that in the last, say, 6 months, who bought the ABC eye cream. Because whoever bought it, you can actually target whatever you're going to do at them. How about a report on clients who purchased product packs last year or who purchased treatment packages last year, and clients who purchased gift vouchers for dollar value last year? What I want you to do is either call them, email them, or send them a note in the mail, whatever works best for you. If you email, make sure that you include a link to the relevant page on your website. And if you mail, make sure you include your December newsletter if you actually have one. Target who you're going to speak to. Pre-sell to them. So let's look at some examples. Here is a product pack from Ultraceuticals called the Radiance Magic Set. Now here's something that you might want to email a client that is relevant. Merry Christmas, Elizabeth. Just a quick note to let you know we've just received our Ultraceuticals Christmas packs, and one in particular is perfect for you, as you should be running out of your C10 serum any day now. The pack has the C10 serum, a trial size ultra brightening serum, which is the one I wanted to get you started on in the evenings, and a full size daily moisturizer SPF 30, which is perfect for your trip to Surface Paradise. The pack is $139, saving you $57. We've already pre-sold 7, so please call me as soon as you can if you would like for me to put one aside for you. Regards, Amanda. That copy in that email is personal and relevant. We talked about her and we made it relevant to her, to Elizabeth. And you know what? If you've got this featured on your website, you would then add a link for her to click to your website to read even more about it, if that's what you wanted to do. Okay, let's look at 2 packs from DMK. Mailing a with compliment slip along with your newsletter here would be ideal. How about something like this? Hi, Cindy. I have the perfect Christmas gift for your daughter, Tammy. We've just received 2 DMK Christmas packs. One is Clear Collection, which has all of the products Tammy is using, plus she'll get a free travel size AccuMist and AccuCleanse, which is perfect for her to carry in her school gym bag. The other DMK pack is perfect for you as it contains the eye tone, herb and mineral mist, and direct delivery vitamin C serum. Now I know you only just recently purchased the eye cream, but with this pack you'll receive a free beta gel, and you're due for one very soon. Just keep the eye tone in a dark place until you run out. All the details are in the newsletter enclosed. Regards, Jenny. That was personal and that was relevant. In fact, we took 2 opportunities. One opportunity to try and sell her a pack for her daughter, and one opportunity to try and get her to purchase a pack for herself. It really is important that you target people personally and relevantly. Now, before I go on with some more examples, I know that there are some computer programs that have set and forget emails. Now, and I understand that to some level, there is some power in that. But all of you have experienced that any computer program that sends bulk emails, or if you use another program, let's say like Constant Contact that sends bulk emails, you've all experienced that a lot of the emails are not actually reached, or they're not opened, or they are bounced, or they're ending up in people's spam boxes. I need you to fully understand that the reason that happens is because it's coming from an email program, not your regular Outlook, or if you've got a Mac computer, the mail program. When you send an email like the one that we've got here to a client, it's like any of you sending an email directly to me. It will always get to me. You are 100% sure you'll get to me. But too often people say, well, I'm going to present, our newsletter in an email format, and I'll email all of our clients, and that's got to be enough. It's not going to be enough. Look at the figures, look at the statistics, and you will see that a lot of people didn't open and didn't get a chance to be exposed to your offers. This is really important. I really want everybody to understand this about this part of technology. Okay, so let's go on with some other examples. Okay, here is the O Cosmetics offer. What do you think of emailing this? Ho, 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 Lucy. When the O Cosmetics prescription kits arrived today, I thought about how great it would be for you to take on your trip home to Ireland to spend Christmas with your parents. Kit 1 has all of the products, including the gentle antioxidant cleanser, the repair serum, the exfoliating cleanser, and the recovery cream, all in travel size, and will last you at least the 3 weeks that you're away. All you need to add is your eye cream, and you're set to go. With every kit purchase, you will receive a free pumpkin or pomegranate peel valued at $149. Lucy, the kits make brilliant Christmas gifts. And as we talked about, of course, of pomegranate peels, once you're back from Ireland, you can purchase a few of the kits and get much of the course for free. Call me, as they won't last long. Regards, Michelle. In fact, actually, I worded that wrong. What I wanted to say is that she can purchase this kit not only for herself, but for her friends. It's valued at $99, and she can keep the pomegranate peels for herself, and it will cost her nothing because that's the offer from O. This is very personal and very relevant. Okay, now let's look at the Aspect Christmas offer. Hi, Simone. I just wanted to give you the heads up of a great offer from Aspect because I think you will love it, especially as you already have the eye lift. There's a pack we will have in our Hot Little Hands on Friday that has the eye lift. It also has Celebration, which is a mechanical exfoliant designed to slough off dead skin buildup. It also decongests the skin, leaving it smoother and more even toned. The pack contains the hydration mask, which is my personal favorite. It's a super hydrating and nourishing mask. The exfoliant and mask are an ideal duo to use weekly at home to give yourself a mini facial. Exfoliate first, apply the mask, leave it for 10 minutes, and then rub the excess in and sleep with it. You are just not going to believe how beautiful your skin will feel the next morning. The pack is valued at $304, but has a limited special price of $226, as we only were able to order 12. It comes in a beautiful box and would also make a great Christmas gift. Please let me know if you would like me to put one or more aside for you, as they'll be gone in a flash. Warm regards, Kate. Once again, personal and relevant. If you want to know how some salons not only get rid of parcels of packs, not just one parcel, you can have a pack and the parcel is you have to buy 6. When I had a salon, we would buy 4 or 5 parcels because we knew that we could pre-sell them by simply writing these emails. So many times we often sold out before the product actually arrived in our salon. And that's because we went to the trouble to do the work. Hopefully you're not going to have too much downtime, but if you do have some downtime, this is what you need to be doing. This is what your therapists need to be doing. Looking up your clients, the relevant clients that they can email, mail something, or even call if that's what makes you more comfortable. Okay, so before we go on, I'd like to hear what you think about being personal and relevant. Who can actually share with me what they think about this? Okay. Hi, Pia. Pia Kainok.
Hi, Bridget. Yeah, I think it is very personal and relevant, and I'm going to get my girls to start doing this tomorrow. But I like some of the wording which we don't often put into our emails. Just the little things like if you would like me to put one or more aside for you, or we can pre-sell this and others. Just making sure that people are aware it's not just for them to put the thought in their head that it's also for other people. I like that idea.
Yeah. And what's really important is to relate it back to them or to whoever you believe they might be able to sell it to. So what the product actually does. So rather than just saying that it's got a hydrating mask and an exfoliator, direct her to what she needs to do. Right? Yeah. Really very important. We've got to remember that when we sell these packs, and some of these packs actually have trial size products, if the client, and no doubt the client will love the product if it's used well, she will of course come back and buy the full size once the trial size runs out. So it's very, very important to be this strategic. Thanks, Pia, for that. Okay, anybody else have some feedback? Let's have a look here. I think Tracy, let me have a look. I saw you before, Tracy. Tracy again, Tracy Key from New Zealand. Hi, Trace.
Hi, I just think that's fantastic, and I love the wording. And yeah, the opening rate of your email newsletters isn't so great. And I know that we quite often send just very small little emails, to and fro about appointments and about products and stuff. But this is lovely because they feel like you're personally thinking of them when you've got something in. So it sounds very personal and very lovely.
Great point you brought up, Tracy, because if they actually think that you're thinking of them, and of course a lot of this stuff, Trace, that all of this information was in the client history cards, yeah? Which proves that we need to put information on our client history cards. So what we did is we went to the client, we looked at the history card, and we wrote something that was personal and relevant. When we get personal and relevant, we create loyalty. That's what loyalty is all about. People become loyal for reasons that they like you, they trust you, and they get the results that you talk about. Loyal is not what most of our therapists think. Oh, the client loves me, she only wants me. Trust me, if the client, it's not just about that. It's always about the results. They're not going to come and spend money with you simply because they like your personality or your therapist's personality. So this is one great way to create loyalty, to get them to understand that we're thinking about them and we know what they need. Thanks, Tracy, for that. Okay, let's see who else. James Vivian. Hi, James.
Hi, Bridget.
Hi, how are you?
Hi there. I'm good. Are you suggesting that we do this to all of our clients, or are you suggesting there's a way that we differentiate between who we should or shouldn't do this with?
Yeah, we definitely differentiate. And as we saw in the slides before, you start doing some reports of finding out, what is relevant to a client. So we've got the aspect offer here right now. So the aspect offer, I made it relevant. I would have looked up who has purchased iLift in the past. Anybody who's purchased iLift 3, it would be relevant for me to send them an email. Or how about somebody who purchased the mask? If they purchased the mask in the past, I would actually make it relevant to them that Celebration is absolutely perfect for them, and then they get a bonus of an eye cream. They'll be saving, something like $70 on this pack. So you just twist it around. You find the right people and then you just twist around. Now, I know, James, that you haven't fully got everybody on your computer system yet. So unfortunately, the only way to do this is to actually go through your client cards and pick people out. But soon, once you get everything started on your computer system, it's going to be so easy. And Shortcuts is the program that I love the most. I understand that Katoomba is also very good, and I've heard of others, but you've got to learn to use reports. That's the number one reason why you have a point of sale system. Too many people use their point of sale system as a cash register, which it's more than that. So does that help, James?
Yes, it does. You obviously answered that, but I just didn't hear it, so I apologise. Thanks.
Hello. That's okay, and it's easy to miss. Now, before I go on, I'm going to mute you, James, but there's something I want to say. Before I go on a little bit further, I want to give you the good news, okay? There's two pieces of good news. The first piece of good news is that everybody's going to get a PDF of this entire presentation. So tomorrow, Shelley will send you a PDF of all of this. The second bit of good news is that I will be putting this presentation up on YouTube for a limited time. So you can re-watch it again, but more importantly, you can ask your therapists to watch it. You can send them the link. We'll send you the YouTube link, and you can send that link to your team and ask them to watch it. And you know what? I would expect them to watch it on their time, because the more strategies they learn, the more products they'll sell. And the more products or treatments or vouchers that they sell, the higher the income. And the higher the income, the more you can actually part with incentives and rewards. So it really is important that we nurture an environment or a culture in our business that people do take responsibility for their own productivity. And I understand that the award says that we have to pay for them to train. But you know what? This is one thing I tell my people. Whether you teach yourself or self-educate is entirely up to you. But I will tell you one thing. If you choose not to, my expectations are the same as the expectations I have of girls that do self-educate. And that's a really important thing to get across to people. So you might have 4 girls and one girl says, I watched that video and I found it really helpful. And the others didn't watch it. Well, they need to understand that the expectations that you set in your own salon for your own targets are going to be the same as the one who did watch it. Okay. Nobody's got a question about that? No? Tracy, you've still got your hand up. So if you have a question, then leave it up. Nope, put it down. Okay, all right, well, let's move on. All right, the next strategy is an order form, okay? Oh, here it is, an order form. I have to tell you that this is one of the most successful strategies I have ever used for Christmas. But you can't just prepare it and hope it'll work on its own. You must brief the girls and make sure that they show and give every client that walks through the door the order form and the newsletter if you have one. It's very simple, and no doubt you could Christmas it up a little bit. Basically, it's aimed at making the client spend her Christmas dollar with you by offering free gift wrapping and free delivery service. Now, I want to tell you why this is so important. It is important because people may not even think of ordering a number of products from you or a number of gift vouchers from you if you don't actually spell it out. You could give somebody a newsletter and this order form at the same time, and the next thing they'll say to themselves is, oh wow, that fixes everybody in the office. I'm going to give the secretaries a $100 voucher. I'm going to give the senior people a $150 voucher. I'll give the vice president a $200 voucher. And it makes shopping really easy for them. So let's have a look at this form very quickly. It starts off at the top, you put your salon logo, and it says, let us make Christmas simple and stunning for you. To make Christmas as easy as possible, we've put together an order form to help you with your Christmas gift giving. All the gifts and vouchers will be stunningly presented and couriered to your preferred address within 48 hours from purchase. And then you list the things that you have on offer. And then you ask them to put their name, oh, sorry, not salon name, that was a copy and paste, their delivery address, their phone number, their email, their Visa card, and at the bottom it says, please use the back of this order form to fill in the message you would like for us to include with your gift. We have spare sheets if you ordered more than 5 gifts. So let me show you what I mean. Here it is. Here is the back. Then I'm going to make it nice and easy for them to order from us, and they have to not worry at all. The easier you make it for them, the greater your success rate will be. Do not underestimate the power of using this strategy. All your client would need to do is go to the top, she'll fill in the gift. So up there you might have something like $100. $100 gift voucher, that is. Who is it for? It's for Mandy, from Brigitte. And the message is, Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2014, or whatever it is that they want to put on the gift tag, and you'll offer gift tags for that. And they're able, for every gift that they purchase, write all the information they need, and it's all looked after, and you deliver it all to one spot at one time. I really want you guys to think about this, because this has to be probably the single most important strategy I ever used in my own salon that actually was successful. But as I said before, in another situation, nothing works unless you work it. Okay, so if you do decide to go this way and you do have a newsletter, then you must say to all of your team members, every time you see a client from now until Christmas, you hand her a newsletter and you hand her an order form and you explain what the order form is for. Even if you, the owner, has to write out a script for them. Help them out, give them the words to say to the client. You know, similarly to what I said earlier on. You will be amazed how easy this can become and how much more your sales will increase. Now, can I hear any feedback about this? Can I hear, has somebody else tried this before and it's worked or not worked for them? Can anybody share an experience with me or what they think? Okay. Catherine Simpson. Hi, Catherine.
Hi, Bridget. I think this is fantastic. We actually tried this last year.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal. Our gift vouchers increased twofold. And we took it one step further. We actually took our order form around to all the shops in the shopping centre, and we left the order form with them and said that we would be back in a week to pick up the order form and payment. And we just found that people just love the simplicity of it. They didn't have to leave their shop. We did everything for them.
You know, Catherine, that's a great idea. And you've actually inspired me, to take that idea even further. Let's say you went to a whole lot of shops, left the order form and said, you left the order form for the manager, for the owner, and you said that whatever the total of the form is, you will receive 10 or 15%, whatever you decide, value of a gift voucher that you can use in January, February or March, whatever, as an incentive for your team to get them to do something that you want to do. So
yeah, absolutely, and you've got to remember a lot of these offices have 300 to 500 women and men in them.
Absolutely.
So men just want easy, they want simple.
Oh, absolutely. The last thing they want is to actually go shopping for this. And it's not just men, it's anybody who's busy. Like for me, the person who actually wins the dollar for me is the one that gift wraps it the nicest, or gift wraps it or presents it the best. Because the last thing I want to do is go to Chadstone, do all my Christmas shopping, and come home and gift wrap everything myself. Not to mention I'm not a very good gift wrapper. So as I said, the easier you make it, the greater the success rate you'll have.
Yeah, absolutely. And we actually included that on the order form, just stating that for $3.50 we'd gift wrap it and have Christmas sorted for them in under 60 seconds.
Fantastic. That's really good. Now, I need to, if you don't mind, Catherine, I want to share with everybody that you did charge $3.50 for the gift box that you had last year, but and I know this because I was there. I want to make it really clear that her gift box was stunning. So if you want to charge for the wrapping or charge for this box, then you better make sure that the presentation is extraordinary. You were able to get away with that, Catherine, and I don't mean that negatively, I mean that positively, because the presentation was that good. You know, if somebody, if somebody said to me, Bridget, you can have this in an envelope, and it's just a lovely black envelope, or you can have it in this box with the ribbon and the gift bag, and it's $3.50. It would be my pleasure to hand you the $3.50. And I witnessed it myself when I worked for you. By the way, I didn't work for her, I worked as a friend, but when I was there as your little checkout chick, I couldn't believe what was going on and how much money you were actually collecting for the gift back boxes, which obviously helped you pay back for the investment that you made. Which
absolutely.
Would have been, I would imagine that would have been your goal.
Look, and it really is all about presentation. All the teams are briefed on how to tie the bow, how to write it, what color pen they've got to use. It's down to every detail. And I always say to them, do it as if you were going to receive the package yourself.
Yeah. I actually remember that because I remember one of your girls slapping my hand when I was doing my first bow. I wasn't doing the bow right, so she taught me. So yeah, I do remember. Thanks for that, Catherine. That's great. Okay, we're going to go on because we're hitting the hour and we've still got a little bit to go. So let's move on. And as I said before, remember that nothing works unless you work it. Okay, strategy number 5, a very, very important strategy, tracking. Nothing that we've mentioned so far will work, or if it does, it won't work well if you don't track performance and how your goals are going. If you need to, track daily, then weekly, and then you will track for the entire period. As we said, targets keep the team focused, and targets measure performance as you go. So tracking the targets will measure how well or not well people are going as you go. So if they're not going well, you can do something about it at the time. There's no point in waiting until the end of the promotional period or the holiday period and say, no, this person didn't perform well. Okay, so I've prepared a tracking sheet for you, okay? In fact, it's 4. You'll see that there's week 1, there's week 2, and I'll show you week 3 and 4 in a minute. Shelley will in fact be emailing you a Word template of this tracking form in case you want to use it. So if you like it, you can actually adapt it to your own salon. It's actually very easy. It'll be in the Word format. Okay, so let's have a look at it closely. If we were to use our case study, we would be aiming to produce 86,667 in the whole month of December, so for the whole 4 weeks. At the top of the page, you can see here, on every single page, there is a reminder for the therapist, because this is one sheet for everybody, so it's not a sheet for every therapist, it's one sheet for the whole salon, but it's reminding them what their own targets are in each area broken down. And I will ask you to ask your therapists to fill in their name themselves. Don't leave it to the receptionist. People need to take ownership for what they do. They need to do the math on their own. It's not hard. Now, you will see a huge difference if you get people to track themselves. You provide the tool and they will actually follow it. So let's take for an example, you may be closed on Sunday. I put Sunday there in case you work in a shopping centre, but let's say Monday the 2nd. Amanda at the end of the day will write here, what did she do in treatments? What did she do in retail, packs, gift vouchers, and her total? Michelle will do the same. Jenny will do the same. Kate and Abby. Remember, Abby is the receptionist, so she's not going to have anything in treatments. We don't expect her to do treatments. And here are her targets in the other areas. Now, I also like pictures and I like colour. So I ask people if they reach their target. So in other words, if Amanda did $685 in treatments, which was over their target, I want her to highlight that. Okay, so it's nice and colorful. If she only did $50 in retail that day, she must not highlight that. And I want you to see what that page will look like at the end of the week. And more importantly, your girls need to see what that page looks like at the end of the week. And the more they see it, the more they calculate it themselves, the more they will be preempted to perform better the following day. So remember, we track them daily. They track themselves daily. Now, at the end of the week, you write your weekly target. So what was the weekly target for the whole team? And then you write your whole weekly actual. Actually, you write the weekly target at the beginning of the week, and then at the end of the week, you write what did we do as a team in total, and that will be the total here that you add up from the total column. Okay, so that is, week 1 and week 2, they're absolutely identical. Then you've got week 3, which is also identical, but the one thing that you'll notice, I don't know if you noticed in the last page of week 2, we had the target and we had the daily target and the total achieved, but we now want a cumulative target and the cumulative achieved. In other words, you add the target from last week to this week's target, and then you add last week's achieved to this week's achieved. And then you do that every week. And the most important figure of all is going to be this figure here. That figure is the figure that you're going to compare, in our case, the 86,667. And you will see whether you did cross the finish line and broke the tape. That is the most important thing of all. Okay. I hope that in this very short webinar, I have provided you with the tools you'll need to finish big in 2013. It was a crash course, but if you put your mind and effort to each strategy, you will see that it really isn't that hard at all. Now remember the pink words I wanted you to pay attention to. Here they are again. Businesswoman, mindset, taking action, decision, tracking, working it. But you need to learn each of these strategies extensively, and so much more if you're going to turn your business into the success you dreamed it to be when it all began for you, when you either opened a salon or you bought a salon from somebody else. You had a dream. Now, if you want to make that dream a reality, you have to learn all of the strategies. So I have a question for you, and here it is. Are you self-employed or are you a business owner? What's the difference? If you're not an employee, aren't you self-employed and a business owner? Aren't they one of the same thing? Well, not quite. There's a huge difference between the two. Self-employed is someone who works for themselves, even if they have employees, day in, day out. The more she puts in on a daily basis, the more she may take out. Without her there is very little to take out. A business owner, on the other hand, is actually a business woman who owns a business that runs itself whether she's there or not, because the business is run on a set of predetermined systems that work no matter what. The most successful business people in the world are business owners. They are not self-employed. And because they own a business that doesn't depend on them, should they choose to sell it one day, they can, for big bucks. A self-employed person has nothing to sell. In 2013, you are going to have the start of your new business career. Why do I say that? Because everything has changed. Absolutely everything has changed. The world is so much noisier than it has ever been before. And if you want to hear or see how I coach and how I have turned some businesses from the depth of almost bankruptcy to successes, and you want to once and for all truly experience success, you need to learn how to be a businesswoman. And I want you to be a businesswoman because you can. because you happen to be in one of the most lucrative industries in the world. They say that the beauty industry is in fact a recession-proof industry. In other words, we do best in the recession. I have to tell you, we certainly did really well when times were tough. Why? Because we put lots and lots of strategies in place. So here's what I want to tell you, what's happening next year. Shift is a 2-day workshop I'm going to have in Perth, Sydney, and Melbourne. And it's going to be in February. This workshop is aimed at shifting your mindset, teaching you all about the market changes, the changes in buyer behavior and how they have affected you. But most importantly, you will learn how to conquer these changes and use them to your advantage rather than fear them. But there's no use you learning how to shift your mindset if your team are not clear on what they need to do. A, achieve what is expected from them, and most importantly, what they need to do to keep their jobs and earn what it is that they want, as their level of rewards should only reflect their level of productivity. On the first evening of the workshop, I'm going to have another 3-hour workshop called Team Shift. Let me be the one to tell them how it's going to be. But don't worry, I will tell them as it is, but in an inspirational and motivating way. In a way that will change the way they look at their own jobs forever. Now, Shift is going to be $597. Anybody who wants to go to Shift will pay that money. But I'm offering any action taker here. I actually, in this morning's workshop, offered it by midnight tonight. But I have to tell you that we've had a couple of hiccups with our website. So I'm actually going to give it to you by Friday midnight. So you've got to Friday midnight to get the link that Shelley's going to send you, I think, tomorrow. And you will actually be paying $287 per person. And that's pretty close to half price. But there's a limited amount of people. So if you really want to come to one of the most important workshops of the year, I would suggest that you come to Shift. Okay, now Team Shift is going to be, I need to tell you the Shift is a 2-day workshop, okay? It's going to be on a Monday and a Tuesday. Team Shift is the 3 hours on Monday night. That is normally $77 per person, but if you book your team or as many people as you want to by Friday night, you will only pay $37 per person, which is less than half price. Now, if this was my salon or if I had a business, I would be asking, or I wouldn't even be asking, I'd just be telling my girls of the opportunity that it exists, and I would ask them that if they wanted to go and they are prepared to educate themselves and find ways to make 2014 one of the biggest years yet, that they do put the time to actually attend. And if they want to do that, then say, you know what, I'll be happy to shout you. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. I really would prefer that you actually get the girls to invest in themselves. Now, you will soon receive an email from Shelley with all of the details. Those of you who know me know that I don't make exceptions. So to receive this unbelievable price for this invaluable workshop you'll ever attend, the offer will be taken off the table midnight Friday night. Now, the truth is I'm not a believer in guarantees because I'm confident of my work and my success statistics. But what I'll offer you is what I offer anybody in any of my workshops. If by the first break you don't think you're in the middle of one of the most valuable workshops you've ever been to, you are more than welcome to leave and you will receive a full refund. I promise. Now, some of you last year attended Metamorphosis. I had quite a few people attend Metamorphosis from interstate. I had New Zealand people, I had country people coming. And if you want to know whether it's similar to Metamorphosis, the concept is similar in terms of helping you turn your business around and teach you all business concepts. But the concepts are totally different. It is all the strategies that I have taught myself this year, that I have learned this year through my own mentors and my own coaches that coach me. In fact, I'm spending Friday, Saturday, and Sunday attending a 3-day workshop that I paid $4,500 to attend to give me even more insights into helping our industry. If you want to make a difference in your business, then you must self-educate yourself. Now, I'm not going to make this offer again. This offer is available to you for $287 for shift or $77 for team shift, which is a 3 hours on the Monday night. Now, if you want to book tonight, by all means, book shift, but I think it's the team shift that's got a few hitches on our website. But you can go there and have a look and book whenever you feel like it. Now, I'm glad I finished that. I would like to open up the forum for any questions of anybody who has either about the webinar today, anything at all that you need to help with. I'm happy to stay as long as you want, or if you want to know anything about shift, please put your hand up and I'll be more than happy to answer you. Okay, here we go. Pia Kynock. Hi, Pia.
Do you think that we should offer an extra incentive if we're hitting this target, or just their normal weekly incentives?
You know, instead in Christmas, instead of offering a different incentive, I actually like to have competitions and gifts. You know, so you can say that if they achieve a certain target, they'll receive a gift, and you figure out what's the latest thing that people like. And I know now, you know, the mini iPad is popular, or I don't know what young people. The thing is, actually, in fact, ask them what it is that they want. Right? You can have an individual competition, so whoever reaches a certain target gets an iPad, or you can say if we all reach the target, we all get an iPad, or you can offer them something for the salon. And I think a lot of you have heard what I did for one of a hair and beauty salon that I had, and I asked them what it is that they wanted, and you're not going to believe it. You've got to remember that there were a lot of men in the salon. They wanted a PlayStation and a television set for the staff room. So they achieved their target, and that's what they got. So be creative, ask your team, and make sure that whatever it is that you offer, it's actually in fact affordable for you. Don't go offering something that you can't afford. But you've got to remember that if they achieve a certain target, there should be a lot of fat in there for you to reward them. Okay. Now, I also would, just while you're there, Pia, I really do prefer that people receive something tangible than a dinner or something like that, you know, or a meeting or something in a restaurant or whatever. Because you go to the meeting, you have the meeting, it's all very nice, you love the food, and it's forgotten. When you actually give them a gift, it's remembered. You know, I remembered once the first time I ever gave an iPod away. Every time somebody said something to the girl who won the iPod, her answer would be, I won that, or I received that as an incentive from my work. And it constantly reminds them of the good work that they did. So I do like to make it fun like that, and I do like to make it tangible.
Cool.
Thanks for that, Pia. Anybody else? Anybody got a question, or your required group? A question or a comment on anything, or if you'd like to share an experience that you're having, or that you think you'll have at Christmas, or any problems or any good stories that you have. Catherine, I can always rely on you. Catherine?
Brigitte, I just wanted to say that I think, so I'm here. I just wanted to say I think it's fantastic. It's a really sort of very simple step-by-step guide. I've run out of notes on my notepad. I've just been scribbling furiously throughout this entire webinar, and I think I'm on to about page 4 now, just with some ideas that you've really inspired me to do. So, yeah, look, thank you so much. I got a lot out of that, and it really is just a case of just doing it.
Absolutely.
Not talking about it, just doing it.
Yeah, and you know what? While you're there, Catherine, I want to tell everybody, in case Catherine is a girlfriend of mine, no doubt. And Catherine and I made friends only really close friends, as close as we are now, only very recently through the Financially Viable webinar series. But I need you to know that I did not set Catherine up to talk here with you today. Okay, I invited her, of course, like everybody else, to attend the webinar, and you need to understand that no matter how good you are, you can always learn new and different ways of doing things. you know, and I'm working with Catherine to make what she has, which really is great, to make it incredible. You know, it's really close to incredible, but no matter where you are, it can always get better, and we must always aim to be that. And I know, Catherine, that that's who you are. You're constantly aiming for more and better and better and better. So thanks.
Absolutely, but I also just wanted to say another thing. It's you get very almost closed off when you work within your own business, and you don't actually see what people see from the outside. So it's great to actually have a new set of eyes to look at things.
Yeah, yeah. And look, that's really true. And it's great to get an idea of something that's totally removed. That's also why Team Shift is going to be something that's so good. Your girls get to hear it from me. Last year we had Team Meta, and the girls got a lot of strategies and heard from me what their expectations are. And sometimes it's much easier to hear from a stranger, a person that makes absolutely no difference whether they do produce or not. You know, they come to my workshop. If they make more money, that's fine. If they don't, that's also fine. It makes no difference to me. But if they hear it from you, sometimes it's harder for them to see it any other way other than you just want more money. So
Absolutely.
yes, different.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure, Catherine. Anybody else? Again, I want to remind you that we will be sending you the link to the webinar tomorrow on YouTube, so you will be able to see it again. I just want to quickly ask Gay Wardle again what you think. Hi, Gay. Gay, can you hear me? Gay Wardle? Oh, okay. I think she's probably walked away from her computer. No problem. Okay. Anybody else want to offer some feedback or questions? Okay, Tracy Keefe. Hi, Trace.
Hi there, I just want to say thank you. It's a little bit later here. I don't know how I'm going to get to sleep because my brain is racing, and I too have got a million pieces of paper. So thank you very much yet again.
Absolutely.
And,
what time is it there?
Nearly 10:30.
Oh, okay, it is late.
Whenabouts in February, do you know, is it going to be in Sydney or Melbourne,
The dates?
championship?
I do have the dates. Let me just tell you. We'll send it to you tomorrow. But let me have a look here. Oh gosh, it's all so small. Okay, Perth is February the 10th and the 11th. Melbourne is the 17th and 18th. And Sydney is the 24th and 25th of February.
Wonderful.
But yeah, it's all on the website though, Trace, so you're more than welcome to go there.
No, that's wonderful.
No problem at all. Thank you so much for your feedback.
Thank you. And I love the way you send things in Word documents. Last year you did the tracking page, and that was the first time I'd used anything like that. And it made a really big difference to things, and this year it's even better. So thank you.
No problem. You're very welcome, Tracy. I look forward to hearing your results.
Yeah, no, it's exciting.
Thanks. Okay, anybody else? If there's nobody else, we're going to close off the webinar. I thank you very, very much for your time, for your attention, and for your commitment to yourself and to the business. But I really want to make sure that you don't just leave it at that. I want to make sure that you didn't just come to this webinar just to hear some strategies. You came to this webinar to hear strategies and put them into place. So by all means, go to bed. I hope you will get to have a decent sleep tonight, but get actioning tomorrow. Start with your list of what you're going to do tomorrow, and we will send you all of the paperwork as well as the YouTube link early in the morning. Okay? Thank you very much once again, and I wish you an amazing Christmas and a very, very prosperous one, and a very, very safe New Year. Looking forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Bye.